Hello and welcome back to the lab. Today on the bench we have a 8904A. I've had a couple of these on the bench and we are working on getting this one squared away and making an improvement. It's functioning fine, everything's good. This was one of the ones we rebuilt in a previous video. However, anybody who has used one of these units knows that the display on these is pretty awful. The EL display is just terrible. No contrast, not bright. Ugh. So, with that end, we have ordered a new display. We're going to work on putting this in here and the necessary modifications to get that working. Because this being an EL display has a high voltage power supply that we're going to have to deal with. Actually, there's an IC you have to remove to kill the high voltage that can burn out if you don't have it properly loaded, so we're going to have to deal with that as well. So, as always, take the covers off. This is one of the units we've rebuilt, so did a full recap on this one. Everything's good to go, nothing wrong, everything's working, and I am quite happy with it. We got to get this front panel off, so I would imagine frame is riveted together, so these covers are going to come off, and there's probably going to be screws, so we'll get into doing that. We got some screws on the bottom, we have screws on the top, so we'll get these blasted out and then pull the front panel off. There are also screws hiding behind the adhesive trim, so they peel off, and we got 4 screws on each side. So there's a lot holding this front panel on. Top and sides are what matters to get the front panel off. I did have to cut the wire ties holding the coax in for the front connectors. This pops off of here. This is the high voltage lead for the EL display, and then this is the IC we're going to be removing. IC. This is the high voltage oscillator, I believe. Data for the panel is right here, and we will continue on. We have to extract this EL panel off the back, and then we may have to deal with the shield pushing this a little bit further back into the case, but we'll see. The new display mounting becomes a slight problem. Okay, I now have a much better understanding as to what's going on and also how we need to proceed to fix the problem. And I also understand where some of the confusion was reading this article online, because even I was scratching my head. We have a 14-pin connector. We have an 18-pin socket. That's actually fairly normal, given the fact that the anode and cathode pins are for the LED, which are not on the EL display. So the EL display takes its power on this side from U50, which is this transformer. So there's also a contrast control that needs to be switched out, because this needs a 0 to 5 volt contrast, whereas the other one was controlled, I believe, internally. So we're going to put a potentiometer on pin 4 and run it up to power. And we also need to run power up to the cathode. Now, there was an additional resistor that I'm like, what is this thing doing? Well, we have cathode and anode for the LED backlight. Sorry, anode and cathode. Yes. There's a trace right here, which we'll zoom in on. Use the power of the camera. So I believe this is cathode. So what I need to do is, because this is ground, I need to put, I don't want a wire on this socket, but I need to get a resistor on the cathode line to ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scratch some of the solder mask off. I've already done it right here to expose that, and I'm going to put an SMD resistor across here, 220, to set the brightness of the panel. It won't be adjustable at that point, but it's going to be set permanently. Contrast will be adjustable. If it's a bit too much, we'll bounce the resistance up. I have some 270s on the shelf. One might say I have a few 220s. That's the plan moving forward. Essentially, this resistor right here, since I found it again, wasn't lost to the bench forever, is going to pop in right there, like so, and I now have to solder that up and get that connected. Then we'll work on the potentiometer for contrast. Then we should be able to plug it in. Okay, we're ready for a power on, so we'll hit the button. We have display. It is upside down because it flips over and we'll be on the front. We have no characters. Let's see what happens when we adjust the potentiometer. Nothing that way. Oh, there we go. So we'll set the contrast so just the blocks are just vanished. And that looks infinitely better already. I'm liking the white on black. It's a wide angle display. Very easy to read. I just got to solve the standoff problem. And we have a new display for this unit. Excellent. I should also note the potentiometer is picking up ground from the ground plane right here. We do not have a connection between here and here, as I did confirm that before we powered it up. Got power coming in here, and then pin 4, the wiper of the pot is on pin 4. The potentiometer that I used was a 10K ohm half-watt trimmer. So probably a little bit bigger than I needed, but it works there. The brightness is a little subdued with it being a white display on that 220, but that's only going to help it live longer, so I'm okay not driving those not driving those LEDs too hard. So now I got to reassemble everything. Okay, two things. Standoff. Sometimes measuring in millimeters is actually better. 5mm standoff is what I used to back the LED off for the thickness at the difference from the EL panel versus the LED. And that seems to have mounted nicely. The high voltage transformer's out. The shield did not go back on. I'm thinking about putting this back on. One of the main problems is it's going to backset 5mm. I use the same standoffs. But that'll offset these 3 screws, which were the top panel. So I have 4 screws, 2 on the sides holding the front panel in. So it's nice and solid. It's not bad. But it does have the shield makes it a little strange. And even if I did offset it for the shielding, I lose the top structure still because it'll be the top structure will also be offset 5mm. So it's kind of okay the way it is. The shielding I'm pretty sure was there for the 150 volts, 120 to 150 volts AC for the EL. But we're now on a 5-volt DC panel, so the noise of the display is going to be significantly less as well. So much nicer to look at. Let me get the other one and we'll do a side to side. Okay. This is the upgrade. This is my other 8904 that I haven't upgraded yet. But after seeing them side by side, it's getting an upgrade. I got to order another one of these displays. I'm going to do that right now. I have standoffs coming. I had to scrounge up the 3 that I needed and get everything good to go. But there's no contest between the two. It was a much, much nicer display. I actually like the white on black because I have an astigmatism. My eyes are very sensitive to blue LEDs. And there are certain wavelengths of blue LEDs that just drive my eyes nuts. This is white on black, not blue. So it's actually quite pleasant to look at. It's showing up brighter in the camera than in person. And we're also off at an angle coming down on the displays. I'm going to drop the camera down so you're more straight on. But it's even readable standing above the camera, where I can barely read this one as is. Here's a better straight-on shot so you can see the 2 displays. It really is no contest. Just so much better and nicer to look at. I do have some tooling coming to make this other one a little easier, and for the second one that we do, I will bring you guys along for the ride, and I will actually have some parts recommendations, descriptions, and things like that on this one, because there are some tooling and some parts that are going to make this repair easier. I have a grinding pen coming from Northridge Fix, which I'm hoping will help with the solder mask removal. I did it with a scratch knife, So much better ways to do that, but we used what we had at the time. I will put a link to the display in the description of this video, so if you're curious as to parts that I used, that will be in the description. And then once I figure out exactly the threads on the standoff, I believe they're M3, but I want to confirm that. So until I confirm that and get this other one, use that at your own risk. As with everything with the channel, you're following along. If you're following along, you are doing so at your own risk. But if you like the content, hit all the YouTube buttons, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks a lot for swinging by. And if you'd like some additional content, check out the Patreon page. Patrons help keep the lights on here in the lab. And videos coming up to YouTube, and their support is, as always, greatly appreciated. With that, I will see everybody in the comments video. Bye for now, and this one needs to be upgraded.